Dennis.
Thank you.
Our first question for you comes from Thook from the LA Times. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your first question.
Hi, Natalie. This is Tukni with the LA Times.
Hey, first, I just like to say thank you for what the story you did. It was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
no problem. My pleasure. But on the game, Michaela does what Michaela does. At this point, is there anything that she can do that really impresses you? And what about her makes her so good every day, but especially today in games like this?
She impresses me every single day. Her athleticism is just amazing. I've never met anyone as athletic as her and as consistent as her. And that's also off of the court, the consistency. She's an amazing teammate. She's always the first one there to check in on all of us. And on the court, I mean, she's one of the most consistent players in the nation. And so, but no, it's every day I'm amazed at what Mick can do because she's just amazing, an amazing player, an amazing athlete, amazing person.
Next question is from Sue Favor, Women's Hoops World. Go ahead, Sue.
Hey, hi Natalie. Just wondering if how you guys felt about your performance tonight. There was a little bit of slowdown in scoring at the end. What can you attribute that to? And then what are you guys going to do to maybe do that differently next time?
Yeah, we know it wasn't like the most prettiest performance, but I think we got all of our percentages that we wanted to get. Rebounding, passion plays, and kills. So even though it didn't look pretty, we still worked really hard to get what we could do that's controllable under our controls and didn't let anything else really, didn't let any missed shots or anything like that get in our heads or in our way.
Thank you.
Next question is from Gavin Carlson. Gavin, if you could identify yourself before asking your question.
Yeah, hi, it's Gavin Carlson from the Daily Bruin. Natalie, in your last two games, you took just 3 shots and 5 shots, but today you were a lot more aggressive, taking 13 shots and obviously had a great performance. Was that something that you were focused on coming into the game, being more aggressive, trying to be that third scorer for the team?
I just want to do whatever I can do to help my team be successful. Over the little stretch break that we had, my teammates and my coaches, especially Coach Tasha, have really been putting wind in my sails and giving me confidence. They've been encouraging me, so I really appreciate that. But I just wanted to do whatever I could for my team.
Next question is from Kahari from the Los Angeles Sentinel. Go ahead, Kahari.
Hey, what's going on, Natalie? I wanted to ask about, can you just elaborate on the pressure defense you guys put on tonight and how you think that would propel you all forward?
Could you say that one more time? Sorry.
Can you elaborate on the suffocating defense you all put on tonight, and then you elaborate on how it would, it's going to help you all moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that pressure 55 full court D is something that we're known for. We're known for our defense, and that's our anchor. And Coach Shannon had said that we really want to start this tournament off like really strong on the defensive end, and let teams know that we're here to defend y'all the whole night, pressure y'all the whole night.
Next question is from Dennis Freeman. Dennis, if you could identify yourself before asking your question. Okay, we'll move on to Haley Sawyer. Haley, if you could identify yourself before asking your question.
Hi, Haley Sawyer from SoCal News Group. So Natalie, in terms of rebounding, what kind of goes through your mind as you're going up for those aggressive second chance opportunities?
Yeah, so rebounding is something that we really emphasize as a team. We have percentages that we want to hit offensively and defensively, and so I just wanted to be a plus factor on that end. And I think, Riss had 10. She had a double-double, so she killed it. And so, yeah, we really take pride in our rebounds and getting our percentages.
Thanks.
Next question is from Colby Gordon. Colby, if you could identify yourself before asking your question.
Hey, how's it going? Congrats on the win. Colby Gordon from the Austin American Statesman here. What, obviously, besides winning, what is driving this team?
For me, it's the seniors. I always dedicate this the post after conference to my seniors, no matter what. Lindsay, Lauren, and Michaela, they've just done so much for me personally on and off the court. And so I just want to play my best for the seniors and know that every single game is so important to each of them and to the team, but especially for them.
Next question is from Dennis Freeman. Dennis, if you could identify yourself before asking your question.
Dennis Freeman, News for Us Online. Natalie, what did you guys take from the Stanford game, and how were you able to apply it to tonight's game performance?
Yeah. I think the overall theme that we got from Stanford is just toughness, and we can't let teams just punch us, and we can't just let teams punch us. So we have to come out strong and ready to go, mentally and physically focused, and just be the most tougher and together team.
Any other questions for Natalie? Thank you, Natalie. Good luck in the next round.
Thank y'all.
We'll be joined momentarily by Coach Corey Close. Please use this time to raise or lower your hand as necessary. Coach, if you could start us off with just an opening statement about tonight's win, then we'll take some questions.
Well, I think, I was really pleased with our energy and our enthusiasm. The assistant coaches came in after warm-ups and said it maybe was the most enthusiastic and vocal warm-up we had had. I think there's some discipline issues in terms of how we, defending without fouling, sort of making them play defense for longer periods of time, doing more things together to be more efficient on the offensive end. But, I think at this time of year, what I've told them is that if you will come ready emotionally and you will be the tougher, more together team, then the rest will work out. And was it the prettiest game tonight? No. But it was a game that, bottom line is we get to play another game. So there's some small things that we need to fix, but I did like our energy and our focus, and hopefully we got some of the kinks out.
Next question is from Sue Favor from Women's Hoop World. Go ahead, Sue.
Hey, hi, Corey. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but there was an off.
Oh, I can't hear you, Sue.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
You touched on it a minute ago. There was a little bit of an offensive slowdown late in the game. Is that a concern for you guys going forward?
Well, I mean, I think that you have to be able to do some things down the stretch for sure. And, I think anytime you hit those scoring droughts, they're concerned. But, I think I'm more concerned with how many, playing 26 seconds of great defense and then bailing them out with a foul at the end. That concerns me more than missing shots. I think we had possessions where I thought 3 possessions in the row, we got great shots. We got an offensive rebound. They didn't go in. I want our players to play free, versatile basketball on the offensive end. I want them to be deliberate. I want them to have good teamwork. But I don't want them to be defined whether the ball goes in the hole. I want them to do things, with great pace and purpose. But I don't want them to worry about that. What I want them to worry about is when we're not doing things that are under our control. And to be honest with you, the defending without fouling, deal was much more concerning to me than those droughts in the fourth quarter.
Okay, and then just maybe a quick follow-up. What were a couple of things you were pleased with this evening?
I really was pleased with our energy right from the tip, with a long layoff and just, waiting forever. We were the last game of the 32 games. And, I felt like we were just waiting forever. So I just didn't know how that would translate. And I thought we came out with really good energy and really good, we executed the game plan. I think Coach Shannon LaBeouf did a great job with the scout. And I think we really had a good focus of what we wanted to take away. And I thought that set the tone for the rest of the game. And I was really pleased with our rebounding. I think we got, 79% of the defensive misses and I think 49% of the offensive misses. We got another opportunity. And I liked that multiple people got it. And so those were 2 things that, right off the top that I thought were pretty good.
Next question is from Thook from the LA Times. Go ahead.
Hi, Coach. It's Toothney with the LA Times. Michaela moved into a tie for 5th on the all-time scoring list today. In your mind, where does she slot in when you consider the great players to come from this program?
Well, in my mind, she's a top 5 player to ever play at UCLA. The great thing about it is that whether I say top 5, top 3, top 20, the best thing about Michaela is that she could care less. And, I think that's a wonderful thing that maybe when she brings her kids back to Poly Pavilion someday, she'll enjoy. But I can tell you right now, she's not giving it one thought. And she just is such an elite teammate. And, it's been one of my greatest joys to coach a player with that level of athleticism, that level of work ethic, and that level of selflessness. And that's to me what she's one of the best at is being the total package and always putting the 4 letters across her chest first. And Michaela Onyenwere stats a distant second.
Charisma played in her first NCAA tournament game, long awaited. How do you think she performed and delivered for this team today?
I thought she was really good. She's going to look at maybe some of her percentages or things like that. But man, when she got on the boards for those 10 rebounds, 4 of them being offensive, 15 points on 6 for 10 shooting. I mean, that's pretty good. 4 assists, 0 turnovers. I thought she had it's so funny. We've been doing this so long. I forget that this is her first NCAA tournament game. She plays much older than a sophomore, and I think her consistency, her ability to really help Lindsay run the team will be the difference in the game against Texas.
Next question is from Kahari from the Los Angeles Sentinel. Go ahead, Kahari.
Hey, what's going on, Coach? Natalie had just spoke on just the 55 full court defense you guys put on tonight. Can you elaborate more on that? And also, just I want to ask about charisma, just her rebounding abilities and just her just ability to go in there and just be a force down there. Can you just elaborate on that for a second?
Well, first with our press, if we would like to do it more. We didn't think it was wise for us to try to do it for 40 minutes, but in this particular game. But we really wanted to have moments that we could sprinkle it in, and we really wanted to do it the first 5 minutes of the game to set the tone for how we wanted the game to be played and to make them think about our pressure. Wyoming's a really good execution team. They shoot an average of 25 threes a game, and we thought that if they could get in a rhythm in the half court, we'd be in trouble. And so it was really important for that pressure to get them out of rhythm from the start. So that's a huge piece. And, I don't know if that will be the same in the second round, but I thought it was a really important key to tonight's matchup. Every matchup is a little bit different in the NCAA tournament. And that's, I've said several times, so I'm so thankful for the Pac-12 because it prepares you for all different styles of play. And I think we're really comfortable in that. What was the second part of your question? Oh, charisma, sorry. Charisma is the total package, and I think she's got even so much more room to grow. She can attack off the bounce. She finishes through contact around the rim. She rebounds. She's a lockup defender. She's one of the few players that can keep almost anyone in front of her. She shoots a 3 well, though she didn't shoot it as well as she normally did tonight. But I think she's a total package player. Find me another guard in the country that has a more complete game than her. I think she's one of the top guards. And, I think I love when she uses all of the things in her toolbox, like rebounding. She's just like leadership. I think that's the other thing. Her basketball IQ is really, really high. And she's in a really great position to be one of the best guards in the country. And really, it's fun to watch her continue to grow into that.
Questions from Gavin Carlson from the Daily Bruin. Go ahead, Gavin.
Hey, Coach. I asked this question to Natalie when she was in here, but she took 5 shots in the game against Arizona and then only 3 against Stanford, and then she was a lot more aggressive today. Was that something that, she was humble and said that credit to her coaches? Was that something you guys were trying to get more involved with her this game?
Yeah, I really do have unbelievable assistant coaches, and they all either have been head coaches or have been offered head coaching jobs, and they're brilliant teachers. They're great motivators. They invest in the total collegiate experience of these women, and Coach Tasha really does, as Natalie said, deserves so much credit. We really talked about how, she was really struggling after the Pac-12 tournament. And, I saw her flinch a little bit when she was talking about her confidence. I don't believe that we can give confidence. I think you have to earn confidence. But I think Tasha really invested in her, showed her film about what she looks like when she's playing aggressive basketball. She started showing, redid some of her highlights and her visualization film so that Natalie could see herself doing it right. And then just encouraged her, encouraged her to play in freedom and with aggression. And, I just am really lucky that I have surrounded myself with people that are smarter than me and that are phenomenal human beings and great coaches. And I think Tasha's time spent with Natalie these last 10 days or so, I think it really did blow wind into her sails, as she referred to that.
Time for just a couple more. Colby Gordon from the Austin American-Statesman. Go ahead, Colby.
Hey, Coach. Colby Gordon, Austin American-Statesman here. Congrats on the win. What specifically with Michaela, what's driving her this postseason, you think, besides winning? And is she, like, if you could just create a basketball player, is basically she what you would create?
Well, but honestly, what you said is really what is driving her. She wants to win for her team. When people ask her about her such intentional and significant growth year by year, she always just says, I knew I needed to get better so my team could get better. And so, honestly, that's all she cares about. She wants to win for her team. She wants to keep playing. She wants to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. And, I think she is really, that is her driving force right now. And she's not ready to be done putting that UCLA jersey on. And that's going to be the big battle going against Texas because they're a really good team.
Dennis Freeman, you're next up. You could identify yourself before asking your question.
Dennis Freeman, News for Us Online. Hey, Coach, how are you today?
Hi, Dennis. Nice to see you.
Thank you. How confident were you that your team would respond tonight after the Stanford loss?
Oh, totally confident. I knew right off the bat, and we'd been really consistent in that. As much as losses hurt and as much as that particular loss stung, we have been responding all year to difficult situations. And so I didn't really actually have any doubt that we would respond well and we would look in the mirror, figure out what we needed to fix, really make some commitments to move forward. And I thought we were really clear on what that looked like. We talked a lot about pace, purpose, and process, and what does that look like for us to play our best. And, did we live that out perfectly today? No, but I really had zero doubt we would respond with aggression and optimism and forward thinking from what happened in the Pac-12 tournament.
Next to last question is from Haley Sawyer. Haley, if you could identify yourself before asking your question.
Hello, I'm Haley Sawyer from SoCal News Group.
Hi, Haley.
Hello. You mentioned an enthusiastic warm-up. Just who are the girls who really get the energy flowing and what do they do?
Well, I'm never out there, so I'm probably not the one to ask, but I can guess. I mean, Lindsay Casaro she's our most vocal leader. But I would say Lindsay and Michaela, they really set the tone in how they talk and how they demand their teammates to talk. So Lauren Miller's the other one that I think really, her voice, she's got great IQ. She understands what needs to happen. She can anticipate for other people. So I would say it really starts with those three players in terms of how crisp we are, how we talk, the enthusiasm that we bring to things. They're really rock solid in that. I think you've heard me say this before, but Coach Tony always says that Lindsay Casaro gets a triple-double every night in leadership. And he's right. And so, people may not see things in the stat sheets, that she brings, but we would never be in this situation without her.
Gavin Carlson from the Daily Bruin, go ahead and wrap it up for us.
Yeah, just one last question, Coach. You mentioned a little bit Texas in the next round. Obviously, they have one of the top players in the country, and you did have two, or actually all three of your tallest players get in some foul trouble. Is that something you're worried about going into the next game against such a great big?
Well, we're going to have to do better. There's no way that we can survive. I was able to do some different things and play some different lineups, play a little zone. I can play Lindsay at the 4 some, but I really think that would be a tall task to expect to beat Texas and be in that kind of foul trouble. So, I'm concerned that we weren't more disciplined in that area tonight, but I'm confident that we'll learn from that and fix it moving forward. You know, I do want to say one thing as we close, and a really treasured, really treasured Bruin we got an email about an hour before the game that from Bob Webb, who's one of our great UCLA supporters, that his wife, Dorothy Webb, is in her last hours, and she's really close to our program. They were one of the first two people that I met. I think it was my second week on the job. We had this thing called, I think it was Bruin Blue or True Blue, and it was this auction, and they had sponsored a table, and I got to sit with Dorothy and Bob Webb, and they've been my friends for the next 10 years, and they're one of the closest people to our program. And Dorothy, I'm gonna miss you, and you inspired me tonight, and thank you for all you've given to all the Bruins. And I know that you, Dorothy, and Bob don't have children of your own, and we take pride that we really want to be, our players think that they're your kids. And I just want to say we played for you tonight. Bob, we're here for you, and I just wanted to say that you were a great inspiration and great friends.
Coach, thank you for taking the time to visit with us tonight, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you so much. Appreciate all your coverage.
That'll be it for this post-game news conference. The recording of this press conference